Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are unveiling Eric Bauer's truck, and it's actually really cool. There's some neat features I want to like kind of highlight on this one because there's some different stuff on this.
Yeah, we've done a lot. This one's pretty neat. So a lot of the stuff we do on the channel, a lot of the builds kind of have a particular style to them. And when we started working with Eric on this truck, well, you can see behind us, it's a lot more different than what we usually do.
Yeah, it's pretty unique. It's not like extreme and wild, but it's definitely not what we always do. And
yep.
I like that there was I like that there's some standout pieces. I'm gonna wait till we do the walk around before we talk about it. But
pretty neat truck.
Yeah, it's cool. You guys are gonna want to follow along.
All right, we'll flip the camera around and start showing you all the details.
Let's do this. Okay, Brian, we're switching it up big time.
We are.
Here.
This is weird. See, I usually hold the camera. I like that better.
Yeah, because you get to be behind it. And then you have to, poke and prod at me and ask me all these questions. And
I feel like I'm on the spotlight here.
All right, Brian, so what is your favorite part of the truck?
My favorite part of the truck. So, I don't know. Everything about this truck is awesome. I'll tell you my favorite thing. Here's what I like the most about the truck, and it was something we kind of, all the guys in the shop, me and Shock and Chaz were trying to work on some things. There's an issue here when you get these trucks. See, you put this headlight on here, and it does have no blinker.
Oh.
And we were gonna put the fender braces on here that had the LED light in it, but we kind of put it up there and looked at it, and it didn't fit the classic old school kind of look to it.
Yeah. And
then we were looking at these headlights. So these headlight buckets you can put on either side, and they have a hole under here, so you can bolt it on either end. Well, we just made the hole a little bigger and stuck a mini watermelon light in here, and turned that into our turn signal.
That's pretty cool.
I thought it was pretty neat.
That's neat and unique, and it's going to be something that you don't see on any other truck. So, I was going to say the logos, I think, was my favorite part.
The logos are cool too.
And you're gonna think I'm crazy, but the bug shield being that like tint of orange really does a lot for this hood. I'm not a bug shield guy. I would never bolt a bug shield ever on a truck.
But it looks great on this thing.
But when I saw this and saw that orange tinted bug shield and like how well it goes with the that off-white color of the hood and the orange stripe that's on the side of it there.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wow, I really like that.
It's pretty sharp. And another thing we've done on this truck that we've never done before is the bumper. So Jeff at 12 gauge kind of told him what we wanted to do for the old school look was to have some yellow fog lights in there and have a small taper bumper, nothing crazy. So he made us this bumper, and it's just got a very minor taper to it on the corners. And then we've got our 6-inch, I don't know, Hella lights, H-E-L-L-A.
Yeah.
It's Hella. I think that's the way you say it right there.
I wouldn't have noticed the taper because it is a very slight taper. You really got to get down there to kind of notice that it's even there. I like that. That's cool.
It kept a bigger bumper on it, but still gave it that kind of a taper classic look to it.
Oh, that's cool.
And then we did the grill bars in the front of it.
Yeah. So these typically come with 3. And then what you guys do is you just add a grill bar, and basically on each side of it. So you added that one, that one, that one, and that one, right?
Yep. And then on the emblems, so the emblems when you get these emblems, these are actually made from the original cast. When Peterbilt used to use this emblem back in like the 60s or something, whenever it was.
Who ended up getting a hold of that? That's cool.
Yeah. So the guys, he remakes them, so they're the original cast, and then all we did is go in and paint this orange. And so we painted the whole thing and then sanded the top of it so that this became, raw aluminum again, and then polished it a little bit and stuck it on there.
That's really cool. And I was wondering how the orange matched the stripe so much. So that's something we painted.
Yep.
After the fact.
Yep.
Okay. That makes sense.
The stripe design on the truck is so Eric Bauer, all his trucks that he paints have the exact same paint scheme. And so if you guys have watched other videos, the dump truck that Chad Berry built for him, it's got the same paint scheme on it.
Okay.
So that's always kind of fun because you got to match it to a T, and we've never done one. So we did the paint scheme, and we did it with the orange and the brown. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you that I argued with Eric about doing orange and brown and 2 colors stripe, And Chad even was like, Eric, I don't think you're making the right decision. We both just did not agree with a brown on top and orange on the bottom.
Really?
And Eric was pretty persistent about it, and we just left it alone. And when everything was said and done, I had to eat a little crow.
I was gonna say,
I told Eric when I got done, I said,
good.
listen, I'm way wrong. It looks really good.
It looks so good. Especially on that off-white color. What is the color of this truck?
It's a Wellington cream, I think is what it's called.
Wellington cream.
Yep.
All right. It's a good looking color for a base.
Yeah.
I mean, you could almost put any color on that and it was going to look okay. But yeah, I mean, I'm completely okay with this 2-color stripes scenario here. And you know, I'm looking at the camera here, and the camera's showing it a lot darker than what it actually is. That's
it's a lighter brown.
it's a lighter brown. It's showing up kind of black on screen here.
And I want to say the color is called hot. If I remember correctly, I think the color I picked was like hot fudge, is what they called that.
Nice
brown.
But wow, it really does look super cool.
Yep. But we were way wrong. If you look at the back, I mean, it like the colors, especially once you get to see the orange frame going in here, and then, you know.
Oh yeah, going into those lights.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, and those these watermelon lights.
And so these are they're all Roadworks watermelon lights, and then this plate here is and the plate in here and the ring is from 12 gauge.
Nice.
It looks super sharp. Another thing we've done on this truck we've never done before is, you'll notice we just got the little 2-inch panels going around here.
Oh.
We've got our filler panel that's painted, but if you look over to the cab, it still has the factory cowl panel.
Yeah, that's the factory cowl panel. And of course you added a watermelon light there.
Yep, and that's also wired up as a running and a turn signal.
Okay.
We figured with the smaller turn signal up here, it was good to put as many as we could on there.
You know, I would have never noticed the filler panel until you pointed it out. You could have had me stand at the back of this cab and be like, Tommy, we did something with the cabin sleeper panels. It's kind of different.
Find it.
And it would have taken me at least a solid 5 minutes.
Right. It looks really good like that. It's nice and clean.
I actually, you know, I say that, but I don't know that I would have actually ever found it. Just because, you know, like I'm used to like the raised roofs and a couple of them where they've got, you know, that piece that comes up here and it's built into it.
Yep.
Yeah, so I would have never noticed that.
And then on the frame, we painted the chassis a base clear. We painted the Merit deck plate base clear.
Yeah, you can really tell it's a lot shinier than your standard factory frame job.
Another thing that's pretty neat that we did here that we've never done on a truck before is, you'll notice these Hogue-built fenders.
Yep.
You can't see any mounts. So we blind mounted them. We used the front blind mounts from Hogue-built and bolted them directly on up here in the front. And then we used the 1406s in the back, which we paint all the brackets orange to match the frame. And then in the very back here, what we ended up using, this is a shift bracket for shift fenders.
Yep.
And like when you're doing your single humps like the truck over here.
Yeah.
So we had some extra ones from us blind mounting trucks before. So we took this mount, and then Chaz, if you look down inside of here, we welded another 2.5-inch piece that comes down. And so the fender bolts right there to it. And then this is welded to the shift bracket.
Okay.
And then we made the mud flap bracket to fit all that, and did the semi-casual weights on it. And that's actually like horse stall mat is what we used to make the
mud flaps.
Mud flaps with, yeah.
Yeah, so you got the matching 12 gauge rings with the Roadworks lights in the rear panel here.
Yep, and that's
Matches.
a 12 gauge 20-inch rear center panel. And then we've got a reverse light hidden down underneath here. Painted everything to match there. So that looks really good.
All right.
So overall, it makes if you walk around, it makes it super clean looking. The fenders, it turned out really good.
No, it does look super good.
And we did I can never say it.
Real
wheel rear hub covers.
Yeah, it's just because you're so used to saying front wheels and rear wheels. So when you try to say rear wheel covers,
So
right?
hard.
It's difficult and kind of funny.
So then he's got to get up and down on the deck plate when he's working the truck, and we didn't want to put steps or anything on it. So Chaz made this little bracket and we welded it on right here.
Yep.
And so you got your little step. Pretty neat.
He's gonna have to put some like skateboard tape or something.
That's
on
what we
that.
were talking about. I think just that deck, the grip tape.
Yeah, the grip tape.
Yep.
What
But
about
it's incognito. You don't really see it, you know.
No. What about inside? You do anything inside?
Not a whole lot. One thing you'll notice when you go to get in, this box is a little different.
Yeah. What's different about the box?
Well, it didn't come with that box. It's not the box it comes with.
Yeah, because this is the driver's side, right?
Yeah. So we took so we would have matching boxes on both sides. Essentially what you do, you can kind of look in there, the original box and battery box is still there, and we built brackets off of all of that to bolt this one on. And now both sides of the truck match.
Nice.
Because this is a factory exhaust. We just put different top stacks on it from Dynaflex.
Yeah.
So there's 68-inch, 5-inch top stacks, and this all factory exhaust on it. Inside, we didn't do anything but a shifter.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we got the SH tube shifter there. A little bit taller than the factory setup.
Yep. Visor is, that's the first time, we just did a video on that one. See the bead roll around the edge of it, Tommy?
Yeah, I was about to say that rib that comes around the edge.
So New Gen Services made that visor. We painted the inside of it to match and put that on.
Wait
Looks
a minute.
super sharp.
You did paint the inside?
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah. It's just hard to tell from this angle.
When we go for the test drive, you'll really be able to see it.
Yeah, I'd say from the back side of it, it looks a lot more painted.
Yep. We did lifetime lug nut covers, lifetime chrome oilers in the front, painted the hubs to match.
I don't think we've mentioned the breather bar.
We did the 12 gauge breather bars front and rear. And we also did them up here on the lights on the mirrors. And then the roof lights are different. We don't typically do roof lights like this.
Yeah, you know, we mentioned that earlier, and I was telling you that was a pretty neat arrangement of cab lights. You got 5 in the center, and then 1 on each side like that.
Yeah.
Looks pretty cool. Very menacing look.
If anybody's watching the video, so the first video we were doing the visor, we put this on, and the bug shield thing set up a little high.
Yeah.
And we were kind of annoyed with it, so I started trimming it, making it sit down a little bit lower. And then the guy that actually builds these commented in the video and was like, flip the brackets around. And like, it's the silliest thing, we didn't even think about it. And I like read the comment, I'm like, flip the brackets around. So the next morning came to the shop, me and Shock were looking at it, we're like, oh yeah. And now it sits like it's supposed to.
That's so funny.
But it looks, I mean, I don't know, overall the whole truck looks super awesome.
No, it definitely looks super cool. And I guess one more thing I just kind of noticed about the bug shield is that is the same tint of like amber that's kind of on the lenses there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I kind of get them right here. You kind of see it side by side. But yeah, I mean, very, very similar tint as those amber lenses. That's all over it.
But I mean, you know, if you step back and just look at the whole truck as a whole, it's a perfect mix of everything to kind of give it a classic look to it. I guess another thing I didn't mention too, we did put the smooth covers on the step boxes from 12 gauge as well. But I mean overall, like, the truck's not overly done. It's kind of perfect.
All right, well, I guess there's only one thing to do.
Drive it.
Got to test drive it, man. We got to make sure everything's bolted on properly.
You know, I'm gonna film you this time.
Yeah, it'd be really hard for me to film while driving, which is my favorite part of the video, so I'm not going to let you drive.
Let's go get a tag, and I mean, Eric's going to pick this thing up like tomorrow or the next day, so probably need to make sure everything's good.
And we're going to put our seatbelts on.
Okay.
I mean, on short drives, we put our seatbelts on, but I mean, if we're driving like all the way to the West Coast in a black and blue truck, we don't wear seatbelts. Only on short 20-mile drives.
Yeah, there's that. Ready to go for the old ride?
I am ready. I'm always ready to go for a ride. All right, so before we get too far along, stop and do our quick safety check. Do you have your seatbelt on, sir? Because I don't.
You should put your seatbelt on.
I should put my seatbelt on. Someone may notice. Uh-oh. We have a safety issue here.
It's stuck with the.
It's stuck in the box. Oh,
There it goes. It's the first time the seatbelt's been used.
apparently.
So
Luckily, there's very few miles on this truck.
yeah. So spec-wise, this thing has the low back seats in it,
Yep.
and you know, you got the bunk with all the extra room. We got Eric's spare parts in here. We were talking earlier about the lights on the front of the fenders. Those are those brackets that we decided not to use. How you like the shifter?
I like it, actually. I feel like that's kind of perfect height because, you know, the ones down here, the factory height is like cool, but I like it a little taller. But then I've had those ones where I'm like, you know, I kind of got my hand resting up against the ceiling, and I don't like those at all. I feel like this is kind of perfect, and I like this. I like this knob.
Yep.
That's really delightful.
So the double bin's pretty nice, especially in a truck with a smaller bunk and stuff, as you got lesser room.
Yep.
And it gets the shifter kind of out of the way. We're good on my end. Well, there's never any traffic. That's a dead end road.
Yeah, it's a dead end right there. But, you know, I've made that assumption before and almost got hit.
It can only be one person. We only have one neighbor here.
Yeah.
All right, Tommy. So how fast is the fastest ladybug that you know of? It's still there.
70 miles an hour.
So the bug shield shields the wind so that the ladybugs can stay on the hood.
That's actually pretty impressive.
It's 70 is like hanging strong there too.
74.
74. There you go. The world's fastest ladybug.
It is.
We just filmed it. Truck ride's super smooth.
It really does. This is a very smooth rig.
He's getting after it.
Moving on. I wouldn't let him over, but I would, or I wouldn't let him go around us, but I'm about to get off an exit.
So what do you think? Yeah.
I think it's good. Yeah. Nothing's falling off. Nothing's rattling or shaking yet. So I think the customer's ready to come and drive it.
It's good to go.
One thing I would do to this truck, Ryan, if it were me doing it, is I would definitely find a way to get some pinstripes on this thing.
So it's funny you say that. We're actually doing pinstriping on it, but we're not, because we're leaving early tomorrow.
Yeah.
I was afraid we wouldn't be around to like make the full video after the pinstriping was finished.
Yeah.
So that's why we made the video today. But
I was curious about that. I was like, well, why wouldn't we just wait till tomorrow? As soon as you said we were doing that.
I don't know. I don't know that we'll both be here.
Yeah. Well, you're leaving at like noon.
Yeah. So I figured we'll make the video, and then the pinstriping is going to really make it. He's going to do some pretty cool stuff where it's going to have. We got some hand lettering we're doing on the back of the truck,
yep.
And then just some pinstriping around it and stuff. And it's Howard coming back to do it, so he always does awesome anyway. And your blinker's on. Oh, there you go.
There it is. So
But
I was watching a hot shot here.
Make sure he stays in his lane. But anyway, yeah, Howard's coming. He's gonna do the pinstriping. So I figure I'll take some pictures and everything else when it's all said and done. And we'll post the pictures of all the pinstriping and all that and put it on like Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah. That'd be good.
it'll definitely look a lot. I mean, it'll kind of seal the deal with the truck, right?
Yeah, no, it's going to change, like, I think pretty dramatically how the truck is, and I'm glad it's the same guy coming back, because he always did a pretty awesome job on the, like, he did Igor's. He did Igor's, and then he did Blue Moon. Blue Moon, yeah. Yep. The pinstriping on Blue Moon, I thought was like that made that truck. It was pretty awesome.
It was, and I mean Howard's been doing pinstriping since 1975.
So he's got a couple years in it.
He knows what's going on. Yeah, like one time we were talking about it, he's like, I've definitely pinstriped, like in terms of how much pinstriping he's done. He goes, it is miles. He said he's got miles of pinstriping. If you think about it, since 1975, if you've been pinstriping your whole life, like,
man, that's a long time doing it.
He probably literally has miles of pinstriping.
So 75 to now, what is that? That's what are we? 2 years shy of 50 years. So
yeah.
48 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time doing any trade.
It is. That's why I like. It's cool as using him is because he's, as long as he's been pinstriping hot rods and trucks and everything else, like getting someone to pinstripe with the years of just expertise he has in it.
Yeah.
And I think his age and where he came from, he's like the perfect guy for pinstriping this truck.
All right, so let's do the math. Let's make it really interesting here. How long have you been doing transportation industry stuff? Like right at 11 years?
11 or 12 years, yeah.
Okay. I've been doing it since I was like 16, 17-ish. And we're gonna I'm 36 now. We'll call that 20.
Yeah.
Right? So my 20, you're 12, that's 32 years combined experience between me and you.
Yeah.
He's got 48 in pinstriping.
Yeah.
Like, that's wild. That's a long time doing anything.
And he's so cool when he comes and does it. Like when I talked to him on the phone, he's like, "What do you want me to do?" And I was like, "Howard, you're really good at it, and I'm not. So like when you get here, me and Eric already talked about it. And we're just going to go with you do what you think is best, and we'll love it, I'm sure."
Yeah, you do it. Yeah, no, that's honestly the best thing you could have done. What about the truck? Does the truck have a name?
No, we never really came up with a name. We've been back and forth. Eric, we had like we started to call it, like everybody in the shop's been calling it creamsicle because of the colors.
Yeah.
But I think what we're painting on the back of the center panel on the back
is A&W root beer.
A&W root beer, that'd be another one. But no, I think he's just going to paint turning back time.
All right. So that's what Howard's going to put on there?
I think so.
Okay.
But that could change.
I was about to say, because like it'd be cool to give him a name or a theme or something, so that way he can really get creative. Because I mean, if the truck's name is turning back time, like maybe he can incorporate some little clocks or something into the pinstriping.
Yeah.
I mean, like that'd be cool.
He is going to paint. The truck number is 44, so he's going to paint 44 down here on the breathers.
Yep.
I imagine it'll be like brown outlined in orange or something.
That'd be cool.
But it literally, like, me and Eric talked about it. We're gonna give him those two pieces. Pinstripe what you want.
Yep.
And we need 44 in the breathers and turn it back time on the back of it. And then past that, it'll just be like surprises.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that is it for this video. Eric's truck turned out super awesome.
Yeah, no, it was really, really cool. Rode great, drove out great. Now we just got to get some pinstriping put on the truck, and it's ready for Eric to come and pick it up.
Oh yeah, and if you guys want to see the pinstriping, you gotta follow us on the other social medias.
Exactly. Instagram, TikTok, it'll be on both of those, and
Facebook.
You gonna put it on Facebook?
Put it on Facebook.
Put it on Facebook. So that's where it'll be. But anyway, you guys, there's all kinds of really cool stuff coming through the pipeline. What about the paint job?
The thing, yeah. No, that's coming up. There's a video coming up in a couple of days that you guys do not want to miss.
No, definitely not. It's interactive. It's going to be something that we're going to do with the fans of Semi-Casual. It's not something we got to do in a long time. We're pretty excited about it, but that's in a future video to come.
Yep. in just a couple of days.
So what you got to do to make sure you don't miss that is you got to like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram.
At Semi Casual Show.
Also TikTok and Facebook for pictures of the pinstriping coming very soon. And outside of that,
See you in the next video. Later.